Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon. Here we are, live and in the flesh.
We liked being together so much last time, we decided to do it again.
Yes. Here we are.
It definitely creates some challenges getting us both to fit in the screen, but we're making it work.
We are.
And we're going to try and remember to talk loud today so that you can hear both of us, not just the big mouth here. Did you ever get this? I don't know. Maybe you never worked like too much with elderly people, but when I back in the day when I worked in the hospital, the old people would always say to me, "I'm not deaf, sweetie," and I'd be like, "I'm just loud. I talk this way to everybody."
Oh no, definitely. I have a few in my family too that need a little bit of projection. And teaching now, definitely, I think more than anything, being a therapist is one thing, but the teaching every day, when I have to project to the classroom, I'm definitely loud. So I will turn it up, match my sister, and we'll get the job done here. So how's been everything?
Everything's been really cool. And as you saw when you visited this afternoon, there was a bee in here.
Yeah.
And there is excuse me, this bee started visiting me last week. Like when the weather's beautiful, I leave the door open so the outside, the mosquitoes come into. I'm not such a fan of those, but this bee like literally has been visiting me. Like I'm sitting at my desk and it's coming up and it's like buzzing in front of me, and I'm like, then when you said it, I'm like, yeah, the bee has a message. And so I have Collet Baron Reed's the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. And so I just wanted to read what the bee is about.
I love that.
So the bee spirit says, sweet results await. The bee spirit's message is that sweet rewards are on their way if you are willing to get your ego out of the way and immerse yourself in connected energy of all things. Bee spirit knows not to let a sense of being separate self get in the way of a good thing. Spirit is always producing honey. Miracles and magic are everywhere. When you connect with the great hive, you are vibrating and buzzing in exquisite harmony with all. Bee Spirit asks that your focus be on connectivity. Your body, your heart, soul, and psyche experience total interconnectedness and a true integration of when you self-forget. When you remember that you are part of a greater unified consciousness. Sounds like last week's topic.
Yeah, it does.
Moving from separation into connection, from self-centered limitation to spirit-centered infinite possibility and potential, you become busy as a bee, enjoying the gifts of bee spirit. Fully in alignment with your highest expression of yourself, your heart opens and creativity rushes through you, seemingly without effort, as you experience that nothing feels like work. Industriousness is driven by enthusiasm and inner motivation, and time seems to fly by quickly as the hive supports you in the making of honey. Do you feel the presence of helpers in the hidden realms eating their energy to your creations? It's a bit longer, but I think I'm going to cut it off there. But bee medicine has been around quite a bit for me in recent years, and it does, like, that connectionness community hive has been super important and definitely reminding me that I'm here to create community, and definitely will be open to receiving that sweetness.
You do create community, and that's a perfect message for you. And the more we do things in the community, the more I understand the dynamics that happen, right? We're all learning from, and we're all part of this. And I know I'm not going to get in the topic just yet, co-creating everything we are together. My love for the community is that it's just a vast array of people that come. And when we get together, I get to experience different cultures, different perspectives, different life experiences from everybody. I love it. I love it. And you've done quite the job of creating a multifaceted, very interesting community gathering from time to time. There's not only sweat lodges, listen to this, not only chakra balancing, there's chakra balancing with different added items and meditations. And sometimes there is something you can taste, like tea with it. There is something you can hear, like me. There is something you can, actually feel, like the stones when you gather the stones and put them with the chakras. There's education, and I love that. And you can find what speaks to you. So the community does have a lot to offer.
I also want, because we're
Yeah.
talking about the diversity of the community that comes in, I think is just so wonderful, because out there, the world is trying to show us that we're all different, that we should hate each other. And coming together in these communities with such diversity, all ages, all nationalities, all religions, like you end up seeing more the oneness, that we are all the same, despite our differences. We are the same. And when you can experience that in these environments, it helps you experience that out there in those environments as well.
100%. Just thinking about how diverse it is, because we're in Florida right now, right? We're in Fort Lauderdale, and coming from New York, where originally the community that I was in, where I grew up, there was a lot of the sameness. I came from Italian culture. It was either Italian or Irish or Jewish. That was the main 95% of the people that I grew up with. And so we had a lot of the sameness. So we were kind of figuring each other out, in different ways, different families, but a lot of it was thread through. We all celebrated Christmas. We all had sometimes 7 fishes on Christmas Eve, but we all had the same food, the same topics of conversation, the same, oh, your mother's like that, my mother's the same. Your grandmother's like that, whatever. Your father's does this, he's a fireman, he's a cop. Same. And coming down here really opened up my eyes in 1991. Made it down, raised the kids here, but I love diversity. I really do. Even at work now, even more diversity has come my way. So every time I have a different culture in front of me, I want to just ask questions. I'm curious, and I think that's a good thing, to be curious and learn
about everything.
And it helps to be more accepting that way. So I feel blessed.
Preach. So enough small talk.
Okay.
We can talk about our topic of the day, which is you are creating this. Like this conversation that we're having right now. Yes, I'm creating it, and Dorice is creating it, but you that are listening to it are also co-creating this conversation with us. And I love this topic because, sometimes like it can get my mind just so like exploding with excitement, thinking about how, yes, we create everything that we're experiencing.
We do.
And I guess why I wanted to speak about this the most is because in my work, in my practice, I see so many people that are resistant to that idea because they don't want to accept responsibility for themselves.
That's a big word, responsibility. Thank you for saying that.
So. It's so easy when things are going wrong to point the finger at somebody else, and it's because of that person or this law or that regulation or this expectation, or like, and I was surprised somebody recently had never heard that. Like when you point the finger, you've got 3 pointing back at you.
Yeah.
And I guess in the beginning it seems a little scary to take that responsibility, accept that you are the creator of your reality. But when you get past that, you realize the power that's in that. And that, that's one of my big, um, I don't know what
Yeah.
the word I want to, big pieces of the ministry is
Mhm.
getting people to take their power back.
Mhm.
And when you're pointing the finger and saying it's their fault, you're
Mhm.
also giving your power away to
Mhm.
that person.
Mhm.
And then that leaves you powerless.
Mhm.
And but when you start to acknowledge, I actually co-created this situation with whoever's
Mhm.
involved in there, that is where the power lies, and that's where change lives, and that's where happiness, joy, and everything you want lives.
Mhm.
And I'm
Mhm.
talking a lot. I'll let you talk.
No, I love the way you talk. I love it. I love what you have to say. And yes, you are the take your power back queen. And you taught me that. You taught me that. I love that phrase, take your power back, because so many people, and I know a lot, that do want to live in the victimhood mentality. Well, what happened to me? Look what happened to me. Look what happened to me when I was young. Look what happened to me when I was a child. Look what happened to me even as a young adult. Look what they said about me. Look how they are towards me. Look at, so building a case to stay in your powerlessness and victimhood mentality. That's what we do sometimes. We build a case because everybody's out to get us. The world is out to get us. Do you know any of these people? Because I do. And the one thing I want to do when I hear that is say, no, no. Guess what? Because if you really believe that you have no power in any of this, what is left? What do you just, it's like a pinball machine. You have a little ball in a pinball machine. You think that's it? And so I do agree with you is to help people take their power back, but also remember that they're not powerless. Remember that what they put out, they're going to create what they put out. Even the intention that somebody has when you're thinking about walking into a space, it doesn't matter. When you're walking into work with your coworkers, you're walking into a party, you're walking into your family gathering. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking, this is going to be a great party? This is going to be wonderful to see everybody. Oh, I can't wait. Everybody's going to be overjoyed. We're going to have such a great time. The power of intention is huge. And I'm not talking about manifestation here because that's a whole different topic. This is creating the reality that you want to step into or become part of. And that's the thing, you're part of it. That means you take responsibility for it. 50% of the responsibility is on you. So what you bring to the creation is an important piece. That's where your power is. Even if you want to take 50%, you have to take 100%. That's the manifestation. Oh, I create everything. I'm so powerful. I'm going to get a parking spot as soon as I come into this lot. I've done that, by the way.
All the time.
Manifest
All the time.
parking spot, right? But what are you doing? You're putting it out there, the intention, and the universe is going to respond. The person's going to respond, right? So this is the thing, the topic today is taking your responsibility in order to take at least 50% of the creation, because you are creating every step of the way.
Matthew's picking up what we're putting down.
Matthew's picking up. Hey, Matthew! I love it. Thank you. Picking up.
So, like, I wanted to share some
Yeah.
real life examples for people.
Yeah.
And so, for those that don't know me, I got married when I was 20, and I was married for 25 years. And that's a whole story in itself. We're going to put that aside. But so I got divorced at 45. And when I first got divorced, I was like, I am done with this whole thing. Life is good by myself. And so that's what we're going to do. And then at some point, I was like, you know what? I actually might like to have somebody in my life. And so I said I was putting myself out there. but nothing was happening. But I was walking around with the beliefs that I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm not pretty enough. Like, no, there's nobody out there that wants this. And then there was also the, because the kind of man that I wanted doesn't exist here in Florida. All the good ones are taken. All of these belief systems was producing exactly what I was expecting, which was nothing. And finally, some friends called me out on my shit, and I love that. Call me out on my shit anytime. I so appreciate that.
Yes.
Because we can't always see our own shit, you know?
That's true.
Sometimes someone has to show us.
Yes.
But all of a sudden I was like, yes, I have this awareness of this is what I have created. And so I get to change that. And I had to shift my belief systems to there is somebody out there that will love, adore, and appreciate this. And they will find their way to me no matter where I am in the world. And saying that started shifting things, started going on dates. And that was a challenge too, to keep my belief system open about there being the kind of man for me here, because there's a whole lot of not for me out there too. But I can say that I'm happily in a relationship for 5 years because I changed my belief system to create what I want.
I love that. Yes, you did. I witnessed it. It's true. True story. Been there through the divorce too, which I did too. So in the 40s, same time frame. But go ahead.
Do you have a creation story?
I know. I'm trying to think of one as we're talking here because I knew it was coming to me. But I do, I have a similar one.
Okay.
And not to piggyback on what you said with the relationship, but it was time for me to create and understand what I needed in a relationship. Because, I love my ex. I love that he's the father of my children. I do. But there is a point in time when you do grow out of, and I don't want to say grow out of love, but grow out of the relationship sometimes. And when we understand who we are, like I started to understand my needs, the person I, wanted to be alongside me, to be supportive, to be understanding, to help me blossom into the person that I wanted to be. When I started to think about that, my reality changed. So it wasn't about, okay, just raising kids and going to work and feeding them and clothing them and worry about the family and all the, the safety, right, issues. You have a roof over your head, you have clothes on your back, you have food in your mouth. That I started to explore really and truly career, who I was. And that needed a different relationship. And so I think that that's part of co-creating your reality and what you want to do in this life. Every time we walk out our door or wake up in the morning, I should say we don't even have to walk out our door, but I want to create peace and love and harmony. I do. And I don't mean to say, all right, I'm just going to go to that oneness and everything's all fluff and wonderful and spirituality is my thing and I'm just going to live in this, little bubble this way. No, that's not how it is. As much as I want it, sometimes it doesn't happen. But if I create something, right, I have to be responsible and have the creation. If I'm creating something and it's not quite at love and peace and wonderfulness, why? I have to look introspectively and say, why did I create this? What is it in my energy that I'm putting forward, right? For example, and I'm just thinking of a story from work. I created not such a great work environment recently. So my work was full of mold. I'll put it out there. I got kicked out of my office. I was ousted. And then, right, I had to get cleaned up. And then also I had not, I teach, right? And I have to be online in the class. I was not there. My whole class was gone and I wasn't part of that class. And I thought to myself, universe, creation, why did I have to go through this really physical outing of my career? And it took me a few days to figure it out. And I figured out I needed that lesson, a creation, that experience to say, you know what, I'm going to survive just fine. If I don't have my office and my computer and my class and my surroundings, because I made it so lovely and so nice and all my stones and everything I need to survive in this place, right? It's not perfect. If it's not perfect, am I going to survive? I sure am. A little bit of adversity, and I was like, I could do this. It'll be fine. It was a struggle. And 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 I really, really didn't love the struggle, but hey, did I take responsibility or did I just say, I walked in and this is what happened to me? Woe's me. This has had to be my office. This had to happen now. Why? No, I had, and that's the part of the mindset of the co-creation that took me back to, okay, stop right here. Don't say what happened to me. What are you going to say about why you needed to live it this way? So that was my.
Yeah. um, and as you were talking about that, it was bringing me back to my mom passing. So my mom developed dementia in her late 50s. And there was a lot of difficulties around that on so many levels for all of my family. And my mom and I were very close, and it can be very easy for me to just live in the sadness of, she was 65 when she passed. And I know some people don't make it even that far, but still 65 in today's world is very young to be passing. And the one thing, yes, I allowed myself to grieve and all of that, because yes, you need to do that. But shifting my perspective of like, what did we as a family co-create with this? And for me, it is the beauty of the relationship that I now have with my father that I never would have had if my mom was still here.
I love it.
And, I've always loved my dad and think that he's a wonderful, amazing man. But watching him through that whole entire experience let me see like the true man that he is. Like, oh my God, amazing. And with her passing, like now I get to connect more deeply with him. That it wasn't nothing bad there. It was just that my mom was always like in the middle because she was my person. And now that she's not there, I really get to connect and have a relationship with him that I never would have had before. And so, yes, do I still miss my mom? Do I still wish I could get a hug from her? 100%. And I feel so blessed to have this extra special time with my dad that I would not have had otherwise. And so, when we're creating, it's just shifting your perspective as to how you are looking at things. And, with your thoughts, you can create misery or you can create joy, whatever you want to create.
Absolutely. Joy is it. I do. I want to live in bliss and joy. And that's it, right? But, unfortunately, we're human. And we decided to come into this life and be human. And it comes in all shapes and sizes. So, and we're not saying, okay, go co-create your joy and that's it. That's all you're going to experience in this life. No. And I think that it brings me to the consciousness about it. Your consciousness plays a big role in what you want to create and how you'll create. Because if you don't know who you are, and you know, a lot of us maybe have been through to therapy, and I'm talking psychological a little bit here. Maybe you've looked at your wounds, you've looked at your traumas, and the more you kind of know that they're there and you're aware of them, then the creation process is going to be more rich, deep, and understood. Because we often, the unconscious kind of leads our way in creation sometimes when we're not aware of our traumas and our wounds. You know, why did I pick this relationship? Well, you didn't deal with your father issues. You didn't deal with, so I mean, there is a part of this that's, you know, you really have to look at what's going on inside you, what your intentions are, even if they're unconscious. You've got to bring them to light and awareness to walk through this life with that co-creation in a very, very conscious way. You know, does that make sense?
Absolutely. Like, being conscious, being aware is step number one.
Yeah.
And is it sometimes easier to just put the blinders on and just keep plugging ahead? Yeah, but then you're just going to keep manifesting whatever it is, creating the life that you don't want, that you're in right now. So if you're not happy with what's in your life, the only way out of it is for you to create something different. And the only way you can create something different is by being different, by doing different. And I think being in that space of curiosity. Why am I creating this? Now, why is this happening to me? Why am I creating this? Huge distinction there.
Huge.
And sometimes it's easy to figure out, and sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
And that's when, like I said, like, I had my friends to call me out of my shit. Like, be a friend to someone, call them out on their shit, and either they're going to accept it and shift and change and get back to creating what they want, or you can deny and live in your victimhood if that's what you want. Like, truly, if that's what you want, to live in your victimhood, go right ahead. You go right ahead. Don't come complaining. Don't come complaining about it.
Don't cry to us. That's why we're doing the show and this topic, because we want you to have that awareness and that power back, so that it doesn't spread onto the rest of us, all that victimhood mentality, because it's time to have an adult look at your life.
So,
I feel like.
and I will say, like, right now we're talking very much on a personal level, but I also want our audience to understand that what is happening out there in the world, we're also co-creating that. And if you see stuff out there in the world that you don't like, that's your opportunity to turn in and see, where is that living in me, and how might I shift that to create a shift out there. I think that is a really difficult piece for people to accept. But energy goes where energy flows, where attention goes.
Right. Energy flows where attention goes. Yeah.
And
that's right.
Like, this isn't about sticking your head in the sand and ignoring what's out there, but you know, this obsession with the news. And I say, like, you can watch news 24/7 since, I don't remember when that has started. I think in the 90s is probably when that started. And I laugh because this goes back to, I think it was grade school for me. Recently, I'm a big purger. Like, I go through these phases where I'm like, okay, I've got all this stuff that I don't need. Let me get rid of stuff. So this was a few years ago. I was going through stuff to get rid of, and I found old report cards. And I found this one that said, you know, Julietta is a great student, but she lacks interest in current events. And I remember, even as a kid, like, don't make me watch the news. Don't make me read the newspaper, except for, like, the comics. I don't read the comics. And you can still know what's going on in the world without doing that. But I just, in me, I knew that wasn't good for me to expose myself to that. And I forget when, uh, probably in my early 20s at some point, I'm reading some spiritual book. Like, I wish to this day that I remembered which book it was that I read that told me the best thing that you can do for your well-being is to stop watching the news, stop reading the news. Like, trust me, I still know what's going on out there in the world without watching the news.
Yes.
But I can limit how much I expose, like the big one for me was 9/11, when people were glued watching those same clips over and over and over and over and over. And I'm like, do you understand like what that's doing to you? Like, you don't have to see it more than once to know what happened. Like, that's all you need to see. And but by giving all of us as a collective, putting all our intention into these things is putting more energy into the situation and creating more of it. So a simple tool is stop giving your attention to what you don't want to create and give your attention to what you do want to create. And yeah, it might not change the world overnight unless all of you decide to do this with me immediately. Given our viewership, I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. I'm always open to possibility. But the more that we can shift where we are giving our energy, this will change the world. I promise you.
Yes. I think that's why we do this. It's the collective that we're interested in changing. It's yes, unifying and understanding that we have this power not only individually but collectively to shift. And that's what you're speaking to. And I it's true. And I stopped watching the news, and it's better off if you read it and not hear all the commentary and opinions and all that. I mean, I think many of us know that by now.
Well, because it's all fake. But it doesn't matter which side it's coming from, where it's coming from. It's all fake. It's all spun to attempt to get your reaction, to get you to do what they want you to do. So none of it's real anyway.
And, and there's your intention. So what do you want with your day? Just do it on when you wake up in the morning, your intention setting. And I know some people have meditation time and prayer time, and that is a form of intention setting. And, and I love all these practices, especially when they're spiritual practices, because that level of lifting and I'm going to speak about vibration and frequency here, right? Because those emotions, when you want to set your intentions to be joyful and loving and compassionate towards one another, that is going to lift that vibration in you. Your frequency is going to, bring and the match that you want to see and feel. If you set that intention, then hold that intention in your body. And when, we're very much energy people, it's palpable to us. We feel it. We work with it. We help people heal from it, with it. And I know I said this to you. It's like, all we have to do is introduce the vibration.
Yeah, I just want to do it. No, we're not done, but I just want to shout out to
from Cali.
From Katarina. This is 2 weeks in a row she's joining us. So glad you're tuning in.
Yes.
And as you're talking about frequency and vibration here, because this has popped up twice in my feed, like once earlier today and once a few days ago. But there are different memes, but someone has created the, so-and-so makes fun of me because I'm woo and talk about energy. But then remember, Einstein talked about energy.
Oh, yes. I just saw that. Maybe we shared it. We probably shared it. We send little Instagram links to each other.
Nikolai Tesla.
Yes.
Like all of these great minds that were considered scientific, but they also recognize that it is all energy, frequency, vibration. And so, yes, you are creating through your frequency, your vibration. And so
we are 99.9%. We are energy.
Yes. So I'm back to your live woohoo. Yes. But there are so many different ways to do this, and you know, you've listed a bunch of them, and no way is right, no way is wrong. And I say this all the time, like if someone comes and tells you there's only one way to do something, run away. If someone comes and tells you my way is the right way, run away. I will tell you the ways that I use, and if they resonate with you and if they feel good to you, use them. And if they don't, put it down. Like, it's okay. And the things, the tools, the ways that I practice have shifted over all of these years. And things that I used to do, I'm like, no, there's a better way. Let me do this. And what's right for me isn't always right for you. But I'm always here to share what has worked for me. And I also will tell you that there is no right or wrong way. There's just the way that feels good to you, that resonates for you, that brings you the success that you're looking for.
That's right.
And try them all. Like, you know, that curiosity thing. Is this the right way? Is it the right way for me? Or is it not? And the only way you're going to know is if you try. And, you know, so often people are like, you know, putting judgments from other things that they've heard, but you don't even have any experience to know if that's true or not. You're trusting what somebody else said.
Exactly.
Who the hell knows if they were right or not? You know, the only way to know is to try yourself. And so, again, whether it is through meditation, through journaling, through yoga, through, you know, if church works for you, go to church. Like, you know, I was raised going to church, and back then I knew church wasn't for me. I went because my mom was going, and I loved my mom, and if my mom said to do it, I was doing it. But back then I knew that wasn't the space for me. But I do recognize that it has worth and value to many people, and if that does for you, do that. Yeah, there's so many tools out there.
So many tools. Yes, absolutely.
All roads lead to Rome.
I love that.
And I'd be happy to go to Rome. It's been a while.
Yeah, let's go. Too long. It's been too long. So many places to go. Go to Egypt. Sorry to bring that up again, but it's such a good one.
Yes, I'm excited for Egypt.
Yes.
Ooh. All right. I'm feeling winded. I feel like we spoke a lot.
I think, yeah.
Do you have anything that we thought that you think we missed on this topic?
I think we could do a whole nother show on this topic. Really, truly. But nothing right now. I just wish all of you a beautiful co-creation in the coming days. And I really want to hear from some of our audience about how it's going. So put it to the test and then share with us, because I think once we're curious about it, we try something, hold our intentions, hold the frequency in your body, and go about your day. Don't let it go. Don't let anybody sway you. Again, co-create. 50% of it is yours. Take that power and do something with it. That's what I have to say.
Yes. I love the last show. We got so many comments and questions after the show. And trust me, we do go back and read them and try and answer them. So we'd love shares from you. And I'd love to hear your favorite tool on, how you get centered and raise your vibration and how you create what you want in your life. We got to share these tools.
Yes.
Oftentimes they were hidden in secrecy, and I love when people, this frustrates me so much when someone will say, they're not ready for this yet. They're not ready for this yet. Bullshit. Like, that's your ego talking. So maybe they're not, but that doesn't mean withhold from them.
No.
You offer it up, and either they take it or they don't.
That's right.
But don't don't you decide who's
No.
ready and who's not ready.
That's right. That's right.
So anyway, with that, I'm going to wish you all a magical day,
Yes.
and we'll see you here next week.
Ciao for now.
Same time, same channel.
That channel.